In the bustling heart of a small-town diner in rural Ohio, where the aroma of fresh coffee mingled with the sizzle of bacon on the griddle, Elena Ramirez wiped her brow with the edge of her apron. It was a Friday evening in late autumn, the kind where the leaves outside painted the sidewalks in fiery reds and golds, and the regulars trickled in for their comfort meals after a long week. Elena, a 32-year-old single mother with tired eyes that still sparkled with quiet determination, had been waitressing at Joe's diner for over a decade. Her shifts were endless, her tips meager, but she poured her soul into every smile, every refilled cup, because she knew that in a world full of chaos, a kind word could be someone's lifeline. Little did she know that this ordinary night would unravel into a tapestry of unexpected revelations, where a stranger's mockery would ignite a fire of humanity that would change lives forever. The door chimed, and in walked Victor Hargrove, a self-made millionaire whose tech empire had made him a household name in Silicon Valley. He was in town for a business deal, his sleek black suit clashing with the diner's vinyl booths and faded checkered floors. Victor's reputation preceded him, arrogant, sharp-tongued, and always one step ahead in the cutthroat world of innovation. He slid into a corner booth, his phone already glued to his ear, barking orders at some unfortunate assistant. Elena approached with her notepad, her warm greeting met with a dismissive wave. "Black coffee, no sugar, and make it quick," he muttered, not even glancing up. She nodded politely, her years in the service industry teaching her to swallow pride like bitter medicine. As she poured his coffee, she couldn't help but overhear his conversation, a heated debate about a new app his company was developing, something revolutionary in language translation AI. Victor's eyes finally lifted when Elena set the cup down, and he sized her up with a smirk. "You look like you've been here forever," he said, his tone laced with condescension. "Ever think about doing something more ambitious? Like, I don't know, directing your own life instead of serving mine?" The word stung, but Elena forced a smile. "Everyone's got their path, sir. Can I get you anything else?" He leaned back, chuckling. "Path? Honey, at my company, we build paths. We're about to launch an AI that translates any language flawlessly, ancient texts, dialects, you name it. Bet you've never even heard of half the languages out there." Elena paused, her mind flashing to her childhood in a bilingual home, her Mexican grandmother teaching her Spanish lullabies while her American father read English bedtime stories. But she said nothing, just refilled a nearby table's water. As the evening wore on, Victor's deal fell through via a phone call, leaving him in a foul mood. He nursed his coffee, scrolling through emails, when a crumpled note caught his eye on the table, left by a previous customer, perhaps. It was scrawled in what looked like gibberish, a mix of symbols, letters, and doodles that resembled no language he'd seen. Intrigued, he picked it up and waved Elena over. "Hey, waitress, translate this and you'll be a director," he laughed mockingly, holding up the note like a trophy. "Director of my next project, even. Imagine that, a diner girl calling the shots in a boardroom." The diner fell quiet, a few regulars shot him dirty looks. Elena's cheeks flushed, but she took the note gently, her fingers tracing the ink. It wasn't gibberish to her. It was a child's drawing mixed with phonetic Spanish and English, a plea, perhaps, from a young immigrant kid who'd sat there earlier with his family. The note read, "Ayuda por favor. Mi mamá enferma. No dinero para doctor. Dios bendiga." But, interspersed were stick figures of a family holding hands, a heart, and what looked like a hospital bed. Elena's heart clenched. She recognized the handwriting style from the local community center where she volunteered on weekends, helping immigrant families navigate life in America. Victor's laughter echoed, but Elena's expression shifted from embarrassment to quiet resolve. "This isn't just words to translate," she said softly, her voice steady. "It's a cry for help." The millionaire's smirk faded slightly. "What? It's probably some kid's doodle. Come on, impress me, translate it, and maybe I'll throw in a tip big enough to buy you a new uniform." Elena set down her tray, her eyes meeting his for the first time with unwavering intensity. "Fine. But translation isn't just about words, it's about understanding the soul behind them." She began, her voice weaving through the diner like a gentle breeze. "It says, help please. My mom is sick, no money for doctor. God bless. And these drawings, they're not random. The family is scared, holding on to each other. The heart means love, the bed means illness. This child is begging for kindness in a world that feels foreign. Victor snorted. That's it. Anyone could guess that. You're no director material. But Elena wasn't done. She pulled out her phone, not for show, but for action. You think translation is an app? Let me show you what real translation looks like, the kind that bridges hearts, not just languages. What Victor didn't know was that Elena's life was a mosaic of quiet acts of selflessness. Raised in poverty herself, she had lost her own mother to untreated illness years ago, a memory that fueled her tireless work at the community center. She dialed Maria, the center's coordinator, describing the note. Within minutes, Maria confirmed. A family had been in the diner earlier, a single mother from Guatemala with 2 kids, the youngest having drawn the note in desperation. Their visa was expiring, medical bills piling up from the mother's diabetes. Elena's mind raced. She had savings, meager, but enough for a start. Turning back to Victor, she said, "You laughed at me, but watch this. I'm translating this note into action." She excused herself, stepping outside to meet the family, whom Maria had tracked down at a nearby motel. The unexpected turn came when Victor, curiosity piqued, followed her out. He watched from his car as Elena approached the rundown motel room, knocking softly. The door opened to reveal a weary woman, Rosa, clutching her son, the note's author. Elena spoke in fluent Spanish, her words a bomb. "Vi tu nota. No estás sola. Vamos a ayudarte. I saw your note. You're not alone. Let's help you." She handed over an envelope, her entire week's tips, plus what she could spare from her savings. "Para el doctor," she said. Rosa's eyes welled with tears, embracing Elena like a long-lost sister. The child, wide-eyed, drew another heart on Elena's hand with a marker. It was a moment of profound realization for Victor, hidden in the shadows. He, who had built fortunes on algorithms that connected people, had never truly connected with anyone.